Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashim, Shai Barakatam, Bashim Kakadash, top honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone Rule Wells, Babna Shadisi Camp, short lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, so American farmers, man, they just getting swallowed up by bankruptcy, man. Filing for bankruptcy, it's been a pattern that's been happening for years, all right? So farmers filing for bankruptcy as inflation hits seed prices, okay? And now you also have to deal with the fuel costs, all right? And then insurance, and then property tax, and all that stuff. So it's getting ugly for farmers. It's been getting ugly for them anyway. So these Edomite farmers having their concerns expressed, online, and yeah, it's a mess, and the shortage of labor to handle business on the farm is not inspiring them, man. So yeah, that's what happened in Babylon. They have to turn against each other. This Isaiah 19, tells you clearly. It said the Egyptian against the Egyptians. So when the policies is not helping the farmers to stay productive, this is what happens. All right. So yeah, it's just part of the journey, man. It's part of the journey. You have to accept, Babylon's demise. It's just, horrible. It's a painful experience. So let me get this real quick. I just read the key precepts. Key precept. All right. It says. Luke 21:11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. All right, so you're gonna see a lot of economic disaster. That's gonna affect agricultural regions. All right, you have floodings. You have wildfires, you have pests, and all that stuff. And now you have to include the sanctions against Iran and the blockade. So that's going to make the price of fertilizer more expensive. All right. So it's going to be painful, for a lot of people to stretch that dollar, especially those people that are minimum wage, man. A lot of people have been kicked off their SNAP benefit roster, so now they're stuck. They're stuck. They cannot afford to keep up, man. They don't have the energy. They don't have the drive. So it's gonna be rough. So what they're gonna be doing is going to the food bank every single week. They gotta go, queue and stand in line just to get some sustenance from the food bank. So it's horrible. And then you have to also remember the so-called federal workers that got laid off. So what do you think is going to happen? That affects the money flow, affects the cycling of money in the system. It affects small businesses. So yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for a lot of people. That do not understand that the system is just eating itself apart, man. So yeah, it's just what's happening in Babylon, and yeah, it's gonna be rough for them. I'll play the video real quick, and then I get some precepts.
More of America's family farms are going bankrupt. Researchers at the University of Arkansas finding that more than 250 farms filed for Chapter 12 bankruptcy between April 2024 and this March, marking a drastic increase in financial distress. According to the data, nearly 90 farms filed for bankruptcy in the first quarter of this year, almost double the number from the same quarter in 2024. Analysts are contributing the rise to a handful of factors, including inflation, higher interest rates, and labor shortages, which are being exacerbated by President Trump's mass deportation campaign. Here with us now to
Yeah, so that's the issue, man. The the war with Iran is also going to price in inflation, right? The price of fuel and diesel, whatever material it is to operate a family farm, the cost is going to go up. So a lot of these Edomites that have had land in their families' estate for centuries, they're going to lose it. So all that Homestead Act just went out the window. So the big boys are going to take over, man. They're going to take over that land, and they're going to do whatever they want to do with it. So this is just the Mosai pulling the plug on Babylon. He has to cause that internal rift. He has to cause that division, right, between these Edomites, man. Scripture talks about, if Satan be divided against Satan, his kingdom cannot stand. So, yeah, you just have to be prepared, man. So I get a quick precept. It's gonna be from the book of Jeremiah chapter 24 and 10. So just like the Lord had to persecute our people for being disobedient, yeah, he's gonna jack the Edomites up too, man. The curses shall come upon them. So Jeremiah 24 and 10, and I will send the sword, the famine, and the pestilence among them, till they be consumed from all the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers. Yeah. So just like they conquered America, man, they can't keep it. So they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be frustrated. They're gonna be angry because they can no longer, live that life of prestige anymore, man. Now they gotta figure out what they're gonna do with the rest of their life, whatever they have in their bank accounts, man. Because poverty, is coming upon these Edomites. They facing foreclosures on their property. They're defaulting on their mortgages and all that stuff. So it's just a symbol of them losing steam, and they're losing their grip on power. It's getting messed up now. So yeah, just be careful out there around these Edomites, man. They're frustrated. They're gonna go around start blasting people. So just be circumspect, all right. So I get another precept concerning famine. All right. So let's see. Yep. So Jeremiah 44 and 13. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. So it's just how it is, man. The Most High has to cause a system like Babylon to fall apart, man, because it's time. It's time, for it to be taken down. That's just how it is. The Most High is visiting Babylon, through the words of his prophets. and it's causing these Edomites, man, to lose sleep over their financial stability. All right, so Social Security is no longer social security to them because it's not keeping up with their daily expenses. All right, so yeah, you just have to be wary, man. Yeah, be wary of this system. Yeah, this system wears you out, so you have to be cautious about how you attach yourself to it. Yeah, that's the pain. That's the pain. That's the pain. That's the pain. So yeah, Babylon is in debt. So Ezekiel 7:15, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. Right? So that's just how it is, man. You know, bio warfare is gonna be something to watch out for. Chemical warfare. All right, so yeah, you have to deal with it.
Dive into all of this is farmer and executive director of the Back 40. That's an organization dedicated to supporting family farmers and ranchers, Will Westmoreland. Will, so great to have you today.
Hey, good to be here, Alex. Thank you.
So U.S. farm bankruptcies are seemingly heading in the wrong direction here, but these numbers are still well shy of those the agriculture industry actually saw prior to the pandemic. What's your overall read of this situation? Why the farmers are struggling now just like they did before 2020?
Yeah, I think you're right when you say that things aren't as bad yet as they were then, but they're definitely, to your point and the lead in, they're headed in the wrong direction. So as you pointed out, our bankruptcies are already higher this year, in July than they were for the entire year in 2024. And you've got market conditions out there that seemingly are only going to make the problem worse. And I think we're just seeing all of the negative trends in lower costs for products and with the ice raids on farms leading to lower harvesting rates, et cetera. All of this is kind of combining together into this, really difficult environment for farmers.
Yeah, so Revelation 18:8 says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakadash, who judgeth her. Yeah, so farmers taking their lives, they're committing suicide, the misery is heavy upon them. So it's just nothing to write home about, man, so they're gonna have to walk away. That's just how it is. They're gonna have to walk away, go do something else. So that pain and animosity is gonna be something they have to address. And Edom is not built to deal with a stressful environment, man. He's always been running away from it, but now he's stuck. Yeah, he's stuck in a corner. The Most High now has to put that cup in his hand for him to drink it. 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Yeah, so the Most High is bringing that burden upon America, man. He's pushing it upon Esau's empire. Yeah, so that separation is going to happen, and a lot of people are not going to be able to deal with it, man. That's the reason why cannibalism, is going to be fashionable to them. You're going to hear about a lot of people going missing. Yeah, man, a lot of people will be going missing when there's a famine, man. Folks will be just be picked up just like that. Just like you remember the movie with Denzel Washington. Yep, that's how it is, man. It's horrible, but just be prepared spiritually, to be able to overcome these depressing times.
Us driving up bankruptcies.
Yeah, I want to get to that ICE raids in just a moment, but first we're going to play a little bit of sound from something that we had earlier, and that's from an attorney for the Land Solutions Organization. It's called People's Company, who spoke with News Nation this week, and they said that the combination of higher costs and the higher interest rates are essentially leaving these farmers with no choice. Take a listen.
So a lot of these loans that were these operating loans are that might have been financed in the 3, 4, or 5% are now getting financed in the 7 to 9% interest rates. Then you have an increase in overall input costs. And combine that with lower commodity prices, it just results in farmers having no other option but to seek a Chapter 12 bankruptcy filing to continue their operation.
So almost everyone out there knows what the word bankruptcy.
Yeah, so that's a pain they're gonna have to do it. So let me play another video. It's just gonna be an audio.
Farm bankruptcy update. That's Chapter 12. April, there is an 82% increase from March 2026 to April 2026. An 82% increase. Now let's get into April 2026. Chapter 12 farm bankruptcies. April, year over year, April 2026 compared to April 2025 is a 130% increase in April 2026 compared to April 2025. 130% increase. This is the highest it has been in 6 years. Let me tell you who had the number one farm bankruptcy was in Minnesota. Minnesota is number one right now. Coming in second, third, and fourth is Arkansas, Mississippi, and California. It's due to high fuel costs. If you missed my post, I did a post on a farmer who was paying $1,500 a day for fuel. Fertilizer. 1/3 of fertilizer comes from the Strait of Hormuz. Equipment. President Trump put a tariff on equipment and also the trade war. China is the number one buyer of soybeans in the USA. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Farmers are going to be having more bankruptcies, more suicides, and more trouble ahead, which trickles through to the consumer, of course, because higher input costs equals higher cost to the consumer. Hi, my name is Christina. If you found this post sad but informative, please like, comment, follow, and
Yeah, so that's how bitter it is, man. So, just be prepared in the spirit, to monitor the habits of people, man. Look at the prices of grocery in the stores, and then you would understand that it's a mess. The tariffs, messed things up, and now you had the situation over there in Iran, the conflicts in the Persian Gulf. Yeah, man, that's what Esau has done. So he has to create an unstable environment so he could take over people's possessions, man. So it's one of their tactics. You have to squeeze people out of the market. You have to understand why these things are happening. Because the elites want more power. They want more power to consolidate on, and it is what it is. It's what happens, man. So the farmers are going to be bitter. They're going to be upset. The lady talked about the farmers committing suicide. So yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. So when Esau can no longer take it, he checks out, man. He takes that heirloom shotgun and then he just writes his final goodbyes on a piece of paper, and he pulls the trigger. So that's a sad part, of Esau's going out, man. You have to deal with the commotion, of people losing their lives, man. Even these ambulances will be so overwhelmed, when people start checking out. So, be circumspect, understand the times that you're living in. Shalom.